If I was beginning my makeup journey from scratch, these are the things I would spend money on.
Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kenya. I've been a makeup artist for a little over 5 years now, and in today's video we're going to be talking all about your beginning makeup kit. So grab a notebook and pen, get yourself a drink, and let's get started. Now before you start your makeup journey, I always recommend, if possible, that you have a little skincare routine going on. The truth is, no matter how good your makeup products are, your makeup will only look as good as your skin, which is why it is essential for you to take care of your skin. Now, the simplest skincare routine I can recommend is just 3 steps. Number one, you need to cleanse your face. Number two, you need a moisturizer. And number three, you need sunscreen. Cleansing your face is like cleansing your body. So you want to get rid of dirt, sweat, excess oils that are produced by the body. And for the face, because the pH of the skin is different from that of the body, it's always important that you get a cleanser that's specific to your skin type. A moisturizer is just like the lotion or oil that you apply to your body after you cleanse it. But we want to get a moisturizer that's again specific to the skin type on your face. I'm going to recommend that you get sunscreen because what it will do is it will just protect your skin from getting damaged prematurely by the sun rays. If you're wondering how often you should do this, I recommend cleansing in the morning and especially in the evening. Apply your moisturizer in the morning and evening, and then obviously for sunscreen, you only want to use it in the morning. Now, once you've done your skincare routine, which has ended with sunscreen, you can go in with what we call a primer. A primer acts as a base for your makeup, so it gives your makeup something to hold on to. Now, different primers have different functions. Some primers will help with oil control. Other primers will give you a dewy finish. Some will reduce the appearance of pores. So they do different things. But when you're starting off, I recommend just getting something that's suitable to your skin type. So what I mean by that is if your skin is oily, get a primer that will help to control the oil. If your skin is dry, you want to get a primer that will hydrate your skin before you go in with your makeup. There's different formulas as well. So this one is more of a liquid. This one applies like a light lotion. Some are balms, but at the end of the day, they all just perform the functions we've talked about. You just want to pick something that's suited to your needs and your budget. And it will definitely affect the way your makeup sits and how long it sits. Let me also say that if you have combination skin, which means that maybe some parts of your face are dry while others are oily, you can totally get 2 different types of primers. So for instance, you can use the one for oily skin on your T-zone if that's where you get oily or sweaty. And then if your cheeks get dry, you can use a hydrating primer on those areas. Next, let's talk about foundation. Foundation evens out your skin. Now, when buying foundation, I want you to think about these 3 things. Think about the finish, the coverage, and your skin type. When it comes to coverage, there's typically sheer, medium, and full coverage. And what we mean by coverage is simply how much it covers. So if the coverage is sheer, that means that it looks very skin-like. So that's what you get when you use, say, a tinted moisturizer or serum. It just looks like your skin, but better. When we talk about full coverage, we mean that it covers things like blemishes, imperfections, anything that you may have on your face that you wouldn't want peeking through. A full coverage foundation should be able to cover that. And then medium coverage falls somewhere in between, where it's not overly sheer, but it's also not full coverage. It's like something that you can also pull off on a day-to-day basis. That's what I actually have on at the moment. The finish is what you'll see on your face after you're done applying. So you can have a matte finish or a dewy finish or a satin-like finish. And this pair well with your skin type. For instance, I have dry skin, so I like to get foundations that have a dewy finish or a satin finish. If I go for a matte foundation, it will make me look drier. I hope that makes sense. So I like a dewy finish because it just makes me look hydrated and lively. Now, if you have oily skin, you want a foundation with a matte finish. What that will do is that it will absorb excess oils and just prevent you from walking around looking shiny. Okay, what a break. If you have very sensitive skin, you want to go for lightweight foundations, the kind that will allow your skin to breathe. You also want to go for fragrance-free products, right? If you have acne-prone skin, you want to look for products that say non-comedogenic, which simply means that they're not going to clog pores, because that is what could potentially lead to breakouts. Hopefully, this helps you understand the different terms on your foundation bottles better. There's different consistencies as well. There's cream foundations, liquid foundations, and powder foundations. When it comes to choosing the right shade for you, it needs to match the skin on your face perfectly, or at least match majority of the skin on your face. We'll be delving deeper into how to shade match and all that in a different video. So make sure you look out for that. And the next thing we're going to get is concealer. And concealer comes from the word conceal, which means to cover, right? One of the functions of concealers is to cover any blemishes or spots or pigmentation that you don't want to pick through your makeup. Another function of concealer is that it helps to brighten your makeup. So if you look at my face, for instance, certain areas of my face pop more than the rest, right? So for instance, under my eyes, so I've used concealer to create that effect. And another thing that a concealer can do for you is that it can help to color correct. It's also going to help us clean up our brows when we get to that step. Again, we'll be diving into all that in a video dedicated to concealing alone. Next, let's talk about powders. And I think each of us has interacted with a powder of some sort. So there's two different types of powders. We have what we call compact or pressed powders. So those ones come in a compact like this one, and they're pressed. We have loose powders, which look like this. They look like dust. Loose powders are very lightweight and they can be used as either setting or finishing powders. They can give a nice natural finish and help to reduce shine or control texture. Pressed powders, unless they're translucent, tend to add coverage to your makeup. They'll help your makeup last longer, they'll reduce the transfer of your makeup, and can give you that nice flawless finish. I always recommend setting your foundation or concealers with powders. Next, I recommend getting setting spray. And again, this will help your makeup to last longer. It will help your makeup sit better. It will help the powders to melt into the skin so that the makeup has a nice natural finish. Quick recap, we're getting a primer that's suited to our skin type. We're getting a foundation that matches our skin. We're getting a concealer that's 1 to 2 shades lighter. I forgot to mention that. And we're getting a compact powder. Why? Because a compact powder is easier to work with when you're starting off, and you can carry it around and use it to touch up your makeup. With a loose powder, it's quite good as well, but it can be quite messy and can get everywhere. Okay, and then finally, we're getting a setting spray because we want to just keep our makeup looking fresh all day. Let's move on to eyes. I recommend getting a brow pencil, and any will do, honestly. I recommend just getting Davis, and the reason why I recommend using this one is because you'll make a lot of mistakes when you're starting out and you will go through so many pencils. So if you're using an expensive one, you're going to spend quite a bit of money on your brows. There's different kinds of brow products, but I find that brow pencils are very beginner friendly. If you like, you can also get a brow gel or a brow wax, so that will just help to hold down the brows, especially if you have very full bushy brows. Okay, now we'll use our concealer as an eyeshadow primer, but again, if you have the budget for it, you can get the eyeshadow primer itself. But what this does is it's going to give us a clean canvas to work on when we're applying eyeshadow. It's going to cancel out those tones that we have on our eyelids, and it's going to give our eyeshadow something to stick to so that it's able to last long and just pop. When you're buying your first eyeshadow palette, I recommend getting something with neutral colors. So things like browns, maroons, just earth tones, because those are easier to work with. And if you make a mistake, it's not going to be as obvious as if, say, you used a very bright eyeshadow. But again, this is up to you. And this might just be my opinion, but I don't think you need to spend crazy amount of money on your eyeshadow palette. when you're just starting out. You're also going to get mascara, and you can get a black one, a brown one, or even a clear one. Again, it comes down to personal preference. Get an eye pencil that you can use just on your waterline, so I mean down here, and also to tightline your eyes, and you can play around with the colors as well. Finally, for lips, you want to pick what you'd reach for on a daily basis. If that's a colored lip gloss, you can go for that. Or if that's a red lipstick, a maroon lipstick, or whichever matte lipstick, you can also get a lip liner. I'll be showing you the different lip combos you can create in another video. Now, these are the things that I think are essential and that you should prioritize when you're starting out. In the next video, we're going to be talking about brushes, so don't worry about that. Other things that I would say are nice to have, but that are not a must in the beginning, are things like blush. You can get bronzer, you can get highlighter, you can get lashes, but let's prioritize this first, and then we're going to build up from there. The last thing that I think is essential to bring when you're learning how to do your makeup is definitely the right mindset. You want to be positive and to extend your self-grace as you're learning, because makeup, just like any other skill, takes quite a bit of time to learn, okay? That's all I had for you today. If you learned something from the video, please consider subscribing. Like the video, leave your questions, suggestions in the comment section down below. If you'd also like me to send you a checklist that you can use when shopping for your makeup products, just comment the word checklist and I'll be sharing the link that you can use to download. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, I'm always rooting for you, girl. Okay? Bye.